Alright. Hello and welcome back to another episode for MC Airsoft. I am Mark. Today we're going to be talking about Shemaghs, or head wraps, or tactical scarves, whatever you want to call them. I'm sure when I'm typing out the description, I'll look up the actual spelling and name of them, right? I've always called them Shemaghs because that's what I was told they were. Whatever, you can call it whatever you want. But they're square pieces of cloth, some kind of pattern on them. Pattern's really going to depend on where you're buying it, what you're buying it for or from, where you're buying it from. I know they were selling them in mall stores for a while, and fashion stores for hipsters to wrap around their necks or whatever. But we're going to talk about them for Airsoft today. So what are they? What should you look for when buying one? Well, they're an extra piece of fabric, right? They can do all of the same things that any other piece of fabric can do with some extras, right? So number one reason is because it is, generally speaking, a fairly clean piece of fabric, unless you're dropping it in the mud or something like that. So if you are getting hot on the field, right, you can take the Shemagh, wipe off your face, wipe off your hands, wipe off your gun, whatever you need to do. It's good about that. Most of them are 100% cotton, so they're going to be good for that. Thinking about more of the first aid kind of application, you can wrap them up. You can use it to tie on a splint. Someone on the field breaks an ankle, breaks their shin, or something weird goes on. It can supplement a medical kit in that way. I know that's a bit weird for Airsoft, but accidents happen, and it's good to have ideas and be prepared. But the two main things you'll see it, or three main things you'll see it used for in Airsoft are, first, protection, which I don't recommend, right? Why is that? Because this, if I do wrap it over my face, yes, there's better ways of wrapping it, but it is still just really thin, and if I separate one side off, most of these are see-through to some degree, right? They're very, I don't think the camera's going to pick it up, but there we go, maybe. But they are very thin pieces of fabric, so even 3 or 4 layers, you're still going to feel those hits coming through. A lot of people use them as face wraps. I don't really recommend it. If you want to cover your face, get a face protector, right? They sell the ones with plastic, and then the fabric on the sides. They sell mesh ones. They sell mesh with fabric on the sides. Get something like that, or get a paintball mask. Actually protect your face if that's what you're interested in. They can be used as a supplemental layer for weather, right? So if you are in a snowy environment or a cold environment, these can be used to wrap up your face, whatever you need to do to keep that cold and especially the wind off of you, right? So taking it, and I'm gonna wrap it over my hat, but just as an example for how you can use it against the elements, right? So we're gonna take 2/3, 1/3 kind of thing. We're going to wrap it across, and this might get a little weird or hard for you to hear, but you're gonna wrap it across and around again, and then we can tie it off, right? And then I can fold it down, fold it up, whatever I need to do. I can take the whole thing, pull it down over my face if I need to talk, or maybe I just want it for my neck, something like that, but it can cover my face up, right? So that is one way of wearing them, to supplement a warming layer. Now, if you know it's going to be cold, get something better. Again, this is one of those things you can keep on you at all times. and it's going to be a great supplemental layer. But if I know I'm going into a freezing environment, I'm going to get cold weather gear. I'm going to get, not a ski mask, but a balaclava or whatever they're called, like some kind of warming layer. Something of that nature. Now, for the Arizona summer, now again, I'm wearing jungle, as everyone can see. I wanted something that would help the Shemagh stand out, and I do have green Shemaghs, but I just bought this one, and I don't know where the other ones are because I live in the Arizona desert. So, one thing that you can do for these is you can take the ends of them, shove them in your blouse. Yes, for BDUs, this is a blouse, not a shirt. Combat shirts or shirts, these are blouses. So we can tuck it in. Now this does two things. One, if I'm wearing gear, especially plate carriers, it's a little bit more protection for me against the plate carrier, right? So I can use this to keep things like slings, plate carriers, whatever it is, off of my neck, which is great. It keeps it from cutting into my neck or rubbing my neck raw, which is awesome. But what I can do is, even while these are still tucked in and the back is obviously not, I can take that, put it over my head, and this does two things. One, this is a nice light color. Yeah, babushka style, right? This is a nice light color, so it's going to help fight the heat. It's going to help reflect some of that heat. But two, what it's going to do for me is it's going to break up this silhouette. So yes, I still have my BDU on. I still have my the rest of my tactical gear on, whatever the case is. But this keeps the sun off of me. This keeps everything from getting sunburnt and baked. But it's a light color, so it will help reflect some of that. And it helps to break up this silhouette. So yes, I don't have my face painted or any of that nonsense, right? If I wanted to, I could close that around. But this is a nice, breathable fabric that is going to keep the sun off me and still break up that silhouette, right? Because no one's really looking for this raggedy, kind of wavy thing. They're looking for the outline of a face. They're looking for a helmet. They're looking for those kind of things. So this is going to be something that I can add for camouflage that isn't really going to add any extra heat. So it's protection against my gear. Again, not BBs, against my gear. It is a weather layer, and it is kind of an all-purpose tool, right? Now, if you're somewhere where the weather permits it, is it going to be better camouflage? Or is there going to be better camouflage? Yes. If you're somewhere where weather permits it, or that I'm planning for the weather, is there going to be better heating layers? Yes. Is there going to be better cooling layers? Well, honestly, if I dump this in water, throw it on my head, whatever I need to do to cool myself off, maybe not. It is pretty good at that, right? Are there better ways to pad yourself against armor? Yes. Or slings or whatever else you got on you? Yes. Are there better options for all of these? Yes. Are there better options for all of them that I can use one item for, and I can always have it in my gear? I can tie it around me however I need to do it. I can do all sorts of things with these and always have it with me. It's really no, because it's a one item thing that I can throw in my gear bag, throw on my kit somewhere. It doesn't take any extra room, doesn't take any extra weight, and if anything, it's a cooling layer. You can even just take it, as we did before, drape it across the back, tuck it under your plate carrier, and it becomes a moisture wicking layer because, again, cotton. It's really one of the best pieces of kit that you can have that isn't going to take up any extra room or weight or anything, like I was saying. but it's going to fill a lot of roles for you. So Shemaghs have kind of died off over the years. They're not really fashionable or, tier one or whatever you want to call it, right? But there's definitely an argument to be made to still utilizing them. So until next time, stay safe, stay hydrated.